What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be showing some of the modifications on my car and what my personal favorite modifications I've done to my Infiniti G35.
Shit can get dangerous, yeah. Shit can get dangerous, yeah. You stand with that lame bitch, yeah. Well, I'm staying with the gang bitch, yeah. Like, ooh, and they gon' stay by my side, like, why don't you stay on your side? Like, ooh, girl, you always switching sides. Need to get out my life and go get a life, bitch.
So, starting off with exterior mods, I have the Aodhan DSO2 wheels. I really just needed some wheels at the time. My tires were going bald. I did not see the deal I wanted on some VSKFs, so those are what I have right now. I do plan on getting a set of those VSKFs when the time is right, but for the time being, the Aodhans work fine. I know they're reps, but I just needed some wheels. So, moving on, Spec D headlights. Best headlights for the G35 by far. Everything else out there, they just look cheap. Even the stock headlights to me look cheap. So Spec Ds, those are a good pickup. I have the clear lens, clear backing, so I'm a big fan of that look. The side markers, I just have cheap clear side markers. They keep falling out, so I will be swapping those soon enough. My most recent modification I just did to it is the GT3 bumper. That, in my opinion, is the best looking bumper. The best way to update your G35 Coupe is to get the GT3 bumper. I actually painted that one myself. Another big thing that I personally like is the 07 G35 Coupe wing. The 05 wing that came on my car, also known as a washboard, is the ugliest frickin' wing that comes on a stock car there ever was. Carbon fiber mirror caps, easy, cheap modification to make your car look a lot better. Not much I can really say on those. And then the window louver in the rear. I had to get them. I always wanted a car with louvers on it, so I'm really happy I did that. Moving down to suspension, I haven't really done too much aside from the Tein Flex Z coils. I've done some work in refurbishing my suspension, so new ball joints, new control arms. Moving on to the interior, I dyed my seats red. I love red seats. They don't have any G35 models that come with red seats, so it's not like you can just buy the seats. You can buy G37 IPL seats that come in red, but they're dumb expensive. Wrapping the interior in carbon fiber is another one. I realized afterwards that you can just buy like an overlay kit. That's probably what I would have done because it does look a lot more real as a carbon fiber than the wrap, but it covered up all that silver trim, so I'm happy with it. Next is the Android doubled-in radio and the kit to make that doubled-in fit. Also hooked up a rear view camera, so definitely need a rear view camera for that. Carbon fiber shift knob, just cheap Amazon carbon fiber shift knob. And then the suede shift boot, just to give it that kind of sports car look. Moving on to drivetrain. So starting off at the top, Willwood master cylinder kit. The Willwood is a lot more predictable, so I'm really happy with that. It also comes with a stainless steel braided clutch line. Moving on to the big job I just did, I did a Z1 street comp clutch with the Z1 14-pound lightweight flywheel. That was one of my favorites on here, but paired with the aluminum single-piece drive shaft I got from Z1, definitely the best modification you can do to your drivetrain for a G35 Coupe. At that time, I did redline trans and diff fluid and changed out the diff cover to the Z1 diff cover. Keeps your diff cool, holds a lot more fluid. Z1 subframe collars, poly diff bushings, and the poly shifter trans bushing. Also did the short shifter. It's just a cheap eBay one. I want to say 80-90 bucks from eBay. I really enjoy that short shifter. I mean, it changes a lot. I mean, you shift so much faster. The only thing I can say about that short shifter is that reverse is a bitch to get into sometimes. Last but not least, exhaust. I have the ISR resonated test pipes. Love those. ISR white pipe, and then ISR GT exhaust. On my car, I had to, because it's meant for a 350Z, putting it on a G35 will work, but the tip will be about 2 inches inwards, and that's with the 12-inch extension on there. It'll still be just a little bit too short. So it ended up burning my bumper a little bit. So that's why I did the bumper cut on it. Have the extension. I also got a 3-4 inch piece welded in there to extend it out a little bit, and then the hanger moved. Then when I did the driveline, I noticed that the massive resonator that comes with the GT exhaust was rubbing on that driveline, so I brought it back to the shop, had them cut out that resonator. So at this point, my car is only muffled by the sound of the muffler and the resonated test pipes. So I think it sounds good. It's pretty loud, but I enjoy it. I've got the Injen cold air intake. I actually pulled the second half of that cold air out because I felt like my car didn't run nearly as good with it in. So it's more of a short ram at this point, but I did build a custom cold air box. I definitely think the air is much cooler now, but it runs a lot better with the setup I have than just running it as a normal cold air intake. I have the MREV2 lower plenum, which is one of the best mods for power you can do to these cars. And when I did that, I also did the Motordyne spacer. Moving on, still in grounding kit. It's really meant for automatics to help you shift a little faster in the automatic, but I put it on there. It's $100. And little things I noticed were the radio seemed to sound a lot better, so that was cool. But also the windows roll up a little faster, so it's definitely worth it. It's $100. If you want just a fun little easy mod to do, grounding kit's the way to go. And then I bought a 350Z carbon fiber engine cover, and I had some Motordyne stickers laying around, so slapped one of those on there. I really like how that looks. Also have an eBay catch can. I know it's a cheap one, but I mean, it's just an aluminum can that holds oil that is being transferred from your valve cover back in your intake. So definitely recommend that. I have the Coilrad radiator. I noticed when I first got my car, if I had the AC on and was going up a hill, that it would start to overheat and I'd have to turn the AC off and then it would cool back down. I tried a million different things to fix it, and then I ended up just getting a new radiator, put it in, and realized that my old radiator was just so clogged up with bugs and dust. You might not need a new radiator, you might just need to pull the bumper off and spray it out, but I got the Coilrad and my car's been super cool ever since. So I have the aluminum undershroud from eBay. It was cheap, looks good, especially when you have the GT3 bumper, you can see down onto it, so good to have. And then it makes, when you change your oil or pull the undershroud off, makes it a lot easier to access things. Last but not least, I am tuned an e-tune from Limp Mode Tuning. It was about $900 to have him tune the car, and that was, you know, front to back with the cable. So I'm really happy with how that came out. I got the 5 different maps. I really only use performance and flame, but I also got the arc features with that. So 2-step, rolling anti-lag, burnout mode, flat foot shifting. I really don't ever use any of them except for the 2-step and the rolling anti-lag. I know my car is not boosted, so the rolling anti-lag doesn't really do much for me, but it's fun as hell. I love the sound. So those are my mods on my car. If I had to say which ones made the biggest difference, the ones that I was happiest to spend the money on, I would say the coils, Tein Flex Z's. I know they're not the best, but they're actually made in Japan, and I think for the price, they're the best bang for your buck. On the engine, the Motordyne spacer and Motordyne MREV2 plenum. Definitely felt a power increase after that, even without a tune. Noticed it right away. Interior, dyeing the seats red is huge. And then the short shifter will make your car look good, make your car shift better, feel better, notchier. On the exterior, GT3 bumper all the way. I think the stock bumper is god-awful ugly, so definitely get that swapped out, as well as the Spec D headlights. And then for the drivetrain, absolutely 100% lightweight flywheel, Z1 single piece driveline. Those will make a huge difference on your car, and I'm sure you'll be really happy. Those are the mods I would start off with again if I bought another car. Really happy with how the car's turning out. I got a lot more work to do. Hopefully I'll be supercharging it with the Vortec V3 supercharger kit. That's kind of my goal right now. But I will be filming all of that. You guys will see all that on video. Really appreciate you watching till the end of the video. Thanks.